I grew up hearing people say, "Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me." Well, I am 41 years old now, and I've decided, well, that's not quite true. Since I've come to England at 12 years old from Jamaica, people have been saying a lot of things. Like, she don't really miss people. I think she like to be on a I think she likes being on her own. Oh, her dad, oh, he doesn't really like hard work. She's going to be like her dad. Let her pay rent. Let her get used to paying money because she will be like her dad. Oh, she's a bit lazy. I told her to hoover the stairs and she started crying, telling everybody that they come across in the family. Oh, she doesn't seem to be happy. Oh, she never really seemed happy. Oh, I don't think she can be happy. Oh, she looks a bit devious. Oh, look at the eyes. She does look devious. Oh, she doesn't really like housework. No, she doesn't like housework. She watched my son not doing the washing up and things like that. Oh, she don't bother. Things like that. People just kept commenting. Oh, the other thing. Oh, the voice is a bit deep, isn't it? She's got quite a deep voice. Well, probably the reason my voice sounds quite deep, I had a head cold as a child. I got a real bad head cold, People don't think when they keep saying things. So, anyway, I've had before I got married, my auntie told my husband to be, oh, she doesn't really like housework. Oh, she'll do a bit of cooking. Oh, she's a bit stubborn. Anyway, I got years later now. That was when I was about 12 and in my early 20s. I kept having constant comments from people about who I am. Oh yeah, and one of my aunties said, "Oh, I can't really work you out. I can't really work you out." And when I went to the house to visit my granddad, she said, "Oh, it's better when there's three of us, isn't it? Meaning me, her, and if another visitor came, it would be better." Like, oh, probably I'm a bit too stressed out. Oh, yeah, and my uncle said, "Oh, they said you're too stressed out. You're so stressful." And, the comments keep coming. And I keep, not really saying much, thinking, oh, let them carry on saying what they're saying. Oh, who cares anyway? But in a way, I did care, but trying not to really let it get to me. Because I remember in Jamaica, nobody was really criticizing me about anything. So, because I lived in Jamaica from age 0 to 12, my great nan, who was age about 80 years old, took me as a 3-month-old baby and raised me with my dad. And she was very fond of me. She raised or brought up, as you would say, many babies that didn't belong to her. She had 2 children only, but she brought up a lot of babies, at least another, say, 4 babies. I was one of them. My dad was one of them. My Auntie Gwen, who was married to my nan, my Auntie Gwen's uncle was married to my nan, and my nan raised Auntie Gwen as her child too, but from she was a baby. So she brought up a lot of babies, and she was always very fond of children. So I found it quite shocking that I came to England at 12 years old, and I became like a big burden to people. I just became like a burden. And it even got that bad that one of my aunties, when I was living with my granddad, because I lived between that auntie's house and my granddad's house until I was 16 years old, so 12 to 16 years old. And it got that bad. She one day stormed over to the house, just burst through the door and announced to my nan and granddad that I had sent a letter to Jamaica to say that my nan, who is diabetic, had lost a leg, yeah, that she had a leg cut off. She said, I sent a letter to Jamaica to say my nan had a leg cut off. Now, I did not send a letter, but she didn't check with me privately first before she went and announced it to them. No, no, no. She just burst in through the door and announced that. Now, I did send a letter to Jamaica, but the letter said I wasn't having a good time in England and I would prefer to live with friends. Not that I did have friends, but because I was quite a quiet child, so I didn't have friends. But in my head, I was thinking what would be better for me. Anyway, so they had this thing after that. Oh, she can go and she should just go live by herself. That's all she want to do, live by herself anyway. And it just went on and on and on. She can't be happy, never. I know. And they had this comment that they liked very much. Never bite the hand that feed you, they say. Never bite the hand that feed you, my Auntie Jo would say. And it's always a bit like that. And my Auntie Jo would make comments when I stayed with Auntie Jo at her house. She would make comments. Oh, some people are a bore. Some people are a bore. Comments like that, really. Anyway, I just used to sort of turn the blind eye to it, pretend I don't hear, and carry on, Anyway, oh yeah, and when I sat in the back of the car, because I never sat in the front, I just used to let her son automatically sat in the front anyway. And even if I could have got in the front before him because he was coming in later than me, I would just let him sit in the front because I didn't really want to sit beside her because, well, we don't have a close relationship. Anyway, and she would say, oh, Misha, we might forget you behind there. One day we might forget you behind there. You don't really say anything. And, it got that bad. You know what happened? I came across a letter in my Auntie Jo's son's room. Not that it should be in there anyway, but, kids, they drop in and out of rooms. No one looking, be a bit nosy. And it was a typewriter letter that he typed on his typewriter to say that, my favorite cousins, something like that, Mark and Donna, have gone away, and I am stuck with my boring cousin. So, it just went on and on and on. Anyway, I had a husband. I got married at about age 28, and then domestic abuse set in. So I decided to go away to my uncle said I could come and stay with him. I was going to look for a flat. I told him, come and help me look for a flat. He said, oh, you can come and stay at ours for a while, because he's thinking, oh, they might sort it out, get back together. Anyway, while I was at the house, you wouldn't believe it, his girlfriend, who is less than perfect, started to say how messy I am, how I cut the chicken that I didn't cut. All I did was cut it to check it was cooked. She insisted that I cut a piece of the chicken off. She went on about how I cut the chicken up badly and it wasn't looking nice because I cut a piece off to eat. And it just went on and on and on. Miss Less Than Perfect, who is terrible at housework, and just about able to cook a bit of food. That's the same old thing she cooked from I was 16. I'm now like nearly 40. Can't stop backstabbing me to my uncle behind my back especially. And then he would keep coming and telling me what she said. So one day I said to him, you know what? I swore, I don't know if you're allowed to swear on YouTube, but I swore the F word and said, I have had enough and I will move out soon. Don't you worry. I didn't come here to stay anyway. I was already going to look for my flat and you told me to come and stay here. Now I have had enough of people taking the piss. Anyway, cut a long story short, I had my daughter. My daughter is only about 19 months old now. And after I had my daughter, my auntie started to say things like, that same Auntie Jo started to say things like, nobody will help you. Lots of people have children. Nobody will help you. You better get your child into a sleep pattern like I say, or she will get sick. No, you will get sick, get worn out and sick. You will end up in hospital and she will have to go in there with you and there's lots of infections in there And oh, just when I thought that was bad enough, one day she rang me up to tell me that my husband, who I finished with about 8 years ago, yeah, somebody saw him and he told them something, and I must have said whatever my husband said. She didn't tell me what my husband said anyway. I got mad at her on the phone and cut her off the phone. And you know what? She even went, when she was on that phone call, she went as far as saying to me, why don't you go back to Jamaica anyway? And things like that. I did say you should go back in it. And why didn't you go back anyway? She said things like that. She, just when I thought it can't get any better. And I said, yes, I should have gone back long ago because this family being rubbish. I said, this family being no use to me, just criticize. I should have gone back. You're right. I don't know why the hell I stayed here. Anyway, I had enough of her and I started to send her lots of horrible texts because I started to remember all the horrible things she said to me over the years, thinking it's okay. So I started to send her texts about her ex-husband who used to cheat on her, things like that. And she always big talking him, even though they finished for years. I thought, no, I'm not having it. No, and I even sent her a text to say, your son said this family isn't bothering. Your son said this family isn't worth bothering with anyway. I thought you can be nasty, I can be nasty too. Let's see who's going to get the award for nastiness. Anyway, you wouldn't believe it. She came around my house one day, burst out of the car, rushed towards me while I was coming from the fish and chip shop with my daughter. I was trying to get away from her because I thought, no, I ain't got time for this rubbish. I had enough of this family anyway. She grabbed onto my daughter's pram and wouldn't let go, blocking up the drive as another tenant trying to get in through the drive. I had to say to her, let go of the pram. The people need to get in. And she would, and then she sort of caught herself and let go. And do you know, shortly after that, she continued to tell me how I'm a nobody. And I heard her son didn't say anything. I said, yes, he did. He said the family was not worth bothering with. Yes, he did say that. I don't lie. One thing I don't do, I don't lie. I tell it as it is. And I said to her, basically, I just used the S word. The S word, the 4-letter S word to her, basically telling her what you're saying is all rubbish and more rubbish, and all I ended up doing was repeating it, basically letting her know whatever you say is just rubbish. I just wanted her to know I had it with her. And we moved from that flat and lived somewhere else now. And just when I thought it couldn't get any worse, you can see like a baby's vitamin drop box, right, in the picture. Yeah, we got over here thinking, this is very rundown area, bad enough. I went to the library first, then went to the chemist with my toddler. And this woman who worked in the chemist rushed out and said, after we've been in there a little while, rushed out and said, oh, the camera shows you've stolen something. You've hid it. You got something. The camera shows you've stolen. I said, steal what? I said, you've taken something from that shelf and hide it. I said, well, that was a library book that I just put away. She kept watching me. Then she looked in my hand and saw this Abidec vitamin drop. And then started to say to me, she watched me with it, just kept watching me like I'm holding something illegal. And then she said, are you going to pay for that? Are you going to pay for that? I said, yes, I am, but I haven't finished shopping yet. I thought, no, I'm not going to be rushing out of here because you're accusing me of stealing, because I ain't stealing anything. What, am I that desperate to steal a vitamin drop for my baby? Okay, I guess we used to live in Fishburne, so we're not really used to this type of treatment. Nobody has ever accused me of shoplifting in Fishburne, even when I've nearly walked out of the door because I'm so overtired, because I'm a single parent, and I just managed to turn around before I exit the door and go and pay for my things because I'm not a thief. Many times I've nearly exited the door in this other supermarket before because I'm tired. I'm a single parent and I'm overtired. And sometimes you do things that might look a little bit like not what you should do because you're overtired. But I'm not a thief. And anyway, to top it, we go to this other place now, this other shop, which is like our main supermarket. It's only really a convenience store, but it's one of the big name supermarkets. And anyway, can you believe it? There is a guy in there that's always like he just always want to tell me what to do. Who worked there? And the other day he said to me, "Oh, you shouldn't put items, products, whatever, under your pushchair because people might think you're stealing them. So to save embarrassment, do not push them. No, do not put the products under your pushchair." I said to him, "You know, I am not a thief. I don't need to be worried about products under my pushchair because I know I'm going to pay for them." I said, "Life is too short." I said, "What do you want me to do? Carry a basket while I push the pushchair?" I said, "It don't fit under the pushchair and it's too heavy for me to carry. You know, I am a single parent. I am stressed and tired. Do I have energy to push a pushchair and walk around with a separate basket to carry what is our weekly shopping that we do over like 4 days, 3 days because it's too much to carry under that pushchair? Do I have time when I go to the co-op like 4 times a week at least to be carrying heavy shopping in a basket? No, I don't." The problem with people always have something to say. And they should think before they talk. I always say that people should get charged to talk because if people got charged to talk, they would engage their brain first before they open their mouth. And the world would be a better place. So many people would not go around upset because of what people say. You know, it's dangerous when people just open their trap without thinking, especially when you're a struggling single parent and life is hard every day, all day. And people just think they're just gonna make their silly comments and think it's okay. Like that same auntie was laughing because when I had my baby, the depression was real bad. I suffered from depression before I had the baby. I suffered from depression during the pregnancy and after. The baby had lots of hats. She's a girl. She had lots of hats. But I had this woolly hat that it was the first thing I usually set my eyes on when I'm rushing out the house because I'm usually rushing. I'm a single parent. I've been nursing. I've been looking after my baby's fine. Nothing, you know, she's what you call a normal baby. Very easy to look after. Just that all babies are challenging anyway. And I used to just grab that hat because it's the first thing I see and put it on my baby's head. I used to think at least she's keeping warm. That's the main thing, you know, as long as she's keeping warm. And one day my auntie burst out laughing because she saw the baby with a different hat, a new hat I had bought her, and said, "Oh, you're looking like a girl now. Oh, you're looking like a girl now," taking the piss because she was usually wearing the same hat. She wasn't wearing the same hat because she had no hats. She had lots of hats. But I suffered from depression. And basically, as long as she was warm, that's all I care about. I don't care what people have to say because when I am up against it, I am on my own doing it all. These people who have a lot of comments to make and who are so opinionated, they are not there to help me when I am here trying to do it all, do the housework, do the cooking, bath my baby, plait my baby's hair, answer the door, answer the telephone. They are not here to help me. Yes, my uncle drop in and give us a bit of help now, and my uncle's wife give us a bit of help. They are the people who matter, the people who are actually helping us with the hard graft that it takes to bring up a child. These people who have their stupid, irritating comments to make just for the sake of giving their mouth fresh air should learn to shut their mouths and think before they open it because it causes a lot of hurt to people. Sticks and stones will break your bone, And words will also break your bone when you're having a real difficult time and not getting the help you need. Yes, there is what you call health visitors. Yes, there's social workers. But what do? They're checkers. They check, they write, they check, they write. They don't ever pick up a bottle and give your child. They don't ever play with your child and let you go do something else. No, they don't. Us single parents are up against it every day, having to do it all. Even if we send our children to nursery, we're the one who have to prepare them.